Yo, still Bills, what's the deal, man? I'm back from my vacation, man. Ugh, back from my vacation. I'm gonna tell you some wild shit before I left to go on that vacation. We got hit with this wild storm, and this big ass branch fell down. It fell off the tree. It detached, the winds and everything detached this big ass branch from off this tree across the motherfucking street from me. And it fucked my neighbor. Like the big ass branch fell on top of my neighbor's car, and it fell off. It fell over into our driveway, and it knocked my my car was out far enough to where the branch smacked the back of my car and dented my shit on top of putting knocking my motherfucking my back window out, man. So I'm like, fuck. So I'm down bad. It was a whole bunch of shit I wanted to do that day before we left. That was on the third. That was on a Wednesday. I was still contemplating going to the gym. I wanted to work out. I wanted to clean, so I didn't have to clean when we got back. I can just go straight into chilling. I couldn't do none of that because we was without power up until we left. We didn't get power until we landed in Florida, man. I was not happy, man. So it is what it is, man. But we back. We had a safe trip. We had a fun trip. We got back safe and sound. And I'm looking forward to the next vacay. But peep game, man, we gotta get into this shit, man. And that is TBC versus Israel Madrimov. Man, listen, you know, I keep arguing with people who just wanna let me turn this shit down. I keep arguing with people who just wanna put Bud in this mindset that he's just supposed to blow through all of the competition. I was on, shout out to the apostles, man. It's boxing to you, my brothers, who are from here. I was on their platform and I'm talking to this nigga, and this nigga is like, yo, man, he about to do this and that and the third. And I'm telling them, y'all are not paying attention to boxing on a global scale. It's not just black men and Hispanic men in America who can fight. These European motherfuckers is getting busy, man. The Uzbeks, the Ukrainians, the Russians have always been scary motherfuckers to deal with. You dig what I'm saying? It's not just black men and Spanish speaking mestizos in North, Central, and South America and in the Caribbean who can fight. And he's like, nah, he about to do this. You talking about go look at this, go pay attention to this. I'm like, yeah, yes. And I'm telling them the whole time it's going to be a competitive fight. And they're expecting him to just go in here and just blow this dude out of the water. I'm like, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Because if it does happen, then the criticisms levied against him are justified, which is he's cherry picking. He should have fought Boots, as if Boots is somebody that needs to be aspired to fight. You dig? It's just real dumb, corny, dumb nigga shit. Typical xenophobia, typical, black American men acting stupid. And it pisses me off, man. It pisses me off to know, extremities, because it's like y'all just don't understand the detrimental effect that y'all are creating, man. This shit is lame. If Bud went in here and blew through this dude, then that would be more called. Because look at how they're acting towards him now in victory. Look at how they're acting towards him now, man. Oh man, you went life and death with a dude with 10 fights, 11 pro fights, or whatever the case may be. It's like, yo, now look at all the criticisms he getting in a competitive bout. Look at that. It's wild to me how, you know what I'm saying. It's the dumbest shit in the world. How ignorant Americans can act when it comes to fighting. Like, god damn. But nonetheless, man, that was an incredibly competitive bout that I absolutely loved it, man. I absolutely loved it. I love the fact that Bud had to, I love that he looked a bit human up there at 154 pounds. I loved it, man. I loved it. And this is another beauty, this is the beauty to, having more than one way to skin a cat. He couldn't go up there and just obliterate the dude, so he had to use boxing acumen to get rid of him. He had to learn, all right, cool, let me turn it up here, you know what I'm saying? He lands one, I'm going to land two. It was the whole shit. All right, there we go. All right, he lands one, I'm going to land two. He was countering with two, in two-shot bursts. You know what I'm saying? Every time Israel would land one, Bud would land two. Little shit like that, spitting him, keeping him off balance, man. Just not necessarily getting his head offline, but he just played pretty good defense, but Israel Magic, like when you're dealing with someone with over 300 amateur bouts, he knows how to place them shots. You dig? He knows how to place them shots, and he was doing that, man. And even with him, he had really good foot movement, man. People get so caught up off of highlights, man, and they don't watch the fights, and that pisses me off. You're gonna have fights where you don't look as spectacular that you did in another fight. They kept showing the fight with Sorrow and all that shit, but they never watched the fight with Kurbanov. They never watched that fight, man, when he actually won that belt. I'm like, y'all dudes are stupid, man. It's a reason he has 10 fights, and he's already within title contention. That happens with, standout amateurs. That happens. Lomachenko got a belt in 3 fights and fought for a belt in 2 fights. How are y'all forgetting that? Y'all want David Morrell to fight. Y'all want Canelo to fight David Morrell so bad, and he only has 10 fights. Y'all pick and choose when y'all want to highlight the amount of fights that somebody has. It's real filthy work, man. It's real filthy work. That dude is a good fighter. He might fuck around and beat everybody else at 154 pounds. He's that nice. The dude is nice. But he displayed really beautiful footwork, really good shot placement, not necessarily selection, man. He was just landing, he was launching that right hand all night, and it was landing consistently, man. And he, you know what I'm saying, pivot out, throw the check left hook off of the spin, and you know what I'm saying. And Bud wouldn't always get hit by it. He'd always catch. A lot of the times he'd catch it on the glove, but the fact that it's muffling his offense, that's what spoke volumes. That's what spoke volumes. I'm gonna keep your guns holstered. You got to go on the defense. I'm cutting this angle right here, and you know what I'm saying. You're not gonna be able to answer it with no shot or whatever because I'm beating you to the punch. So get them hands up so I can reset, force you to reset, and I can reset and rethink my entry as well. It was real smart boxing in there, bro. It was real smart boxing in there. And once again, Bud Crawford showed he just has another gear that he can go to, man. In the 11th or the 12th round, when he started stepping up his volume. Now he's not answering you with 1 and 2. He's leading, 4 and 5 punch combinations. That shit matters, man. And that's what eventually won him to fight. That's what eventually won him to fight. And I don't think that people are talking enough about the dude's chin. Israel landed some big shots in there. A lot of the shots he was rolling, a lot of the shots he was eating. That's a testament to the greatness in that man. That's a testament to the greatness in that man. The same with Lomachenko, man. You are supposed to push yourself, and when you go up, when you find a way to reach your limits, and you still find a way to persevere, that is a testament to your greatness. Canelo Alvarez, he couldn't deal with Bivol. It is what it is. He found his limitations, but the thing is, he still wants that rematch at 175 pounds. I don't want you to come down here to 168. I'll meet you up there. Man, listen, I'm going in your pool right now. I'm gonna swim in that motherfucker. Lomachenko, I think Lomachenko is personally at his best at 135 pounds. Why? Because he's being met with a certain level of resistance that 130 could not offer him. And he's still finding ways to knock niggas the fuck out. And he's still finding ways to make fights competitive. And even in them fights that he lost, I personally had Teofimo and him a draw. I had that fight a draw, and I had him beating Devin Haney. And through all of that shit, man, look at the response he got in the Haney win, in the Haney fight. Everybody felt he was robbed. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, like when you meet resistance and you still find a way to persevere where an attribute is taken away from you, you may not hit as hard as you did up there. So now, all right, cool, I can't rely on brute strength to get you up out of here. I'm gonna have to rely on counter punching. I'm gonna have to rely on using my feet. I'm gonna have to rely on my defensive prowess. I'm gonna have to rely on all of that shit in order for me to get through this fight with a victory. And that's what he did. And y'all keep trying to find ways to disparage him for it. You dig? Who doesn't jump up and who doesn't jump up that significantly and struggle? Who doesn't do that? Who doesn't do that? You dig? Like I really need the American boxing fan to really step up their level of intellect when it comes to these fighters, bro, because it's not just about America. Y'all are going to learn the hard way. Y'all are going to learn the hard way. Like, niggas are just so fucking dense-minded, man. It's annoying. He put up an incredible fight. I thought that was a really good performance. I thought that was a real good performance. I had it about 7-5. People are acting. That's another thing. People, niggas, are just talking as if he just went in here and blew through Israel, and he didn't. Yes, he would answer Israel's. Uh, he'd answer his. He'd answer his one with twos. He'd do that. He definitely would do that. He definitely would do that, man. But Israel's. I don't know, man. That one shot seemed to be a lot more effective that Israel would land in Bud's two in spurts. In spurts. And you also just have to, understand. I think it's, once again, it's more nuanced, man. Just because he's landing one and Bud is landing two, that doesn't necessarily mean that you should get that nigga around. Look at the effect of the shot. Look at how consistently he's landing the shot. Study his mannerisms in the ring, man. He looked real comfortable in there the entire fight. I'm gonna sing all the praises for Israel Madrimov, because with me singing the praises of Israel Madrimov, that is that much more giving credence to Bud's win over him. That's what y'all don't get. That was a really good dude. Is a really good fighter. Dude is a really good fighter. Really good fighter. And Bud found a way to beat him. The footwork was there, man. Everything was there. Bro, they was doing the same thing with Bivol. I'll never forget the niggas was posting footage of Bivol, and it wasn't, because it's not, he's not doing nothing dynamic as far as, a punch selection with hooks and uppercuts and these overhand looping right hands and shit like that. It did. It didn't look visually stunning and visually pleasing, and there was no pizzazz and aesthetic to it that had like no wow factor. They were just looking at him throwing the straights at a safe distance, to where I'm in range and I can touch you, but I'm out of range. I'm out of your range, so you can't counter back. The intellect gets disregarded. You dig what I'm saying? Because niggas just want to be wild. They want to be, oh shit. They want to be visually stunned and visually pleased. And that's just, it was stupid. And then what happened when Canelo went in there and fought him? And after that fight, oh, go fight Bivol again. The same Bivol that y'all was swearing was a cherry pick, bro. It's just no satisfying you dudes, because your mind is so convoluted with just American xenophobia. Nobody can fight outside of the United States of America. That is the dumbest shit in the world. That is the dumbest shit in the world. So shout out to Israel Madrimov, and shout out to the champion for finding a way to get that victory, that unanimous decision. I thought the first scorecard was a little bit too wide. What was that 116, 112? I thought that was a little bit too wide. I was more partial to the 7-5 scorecard. I was a little bit more partial to that. I honestly was, man. I can definitely, I can see it. I can see why somebody would say it was a draw. I can see why somebody would say it was a draw. I definitely can. Even though I didn't have it a draw, I could see why somebody would say it was a draw. That dude was doing really good work, and Bud wasn't landing with as much authority as he was at 147 pounds. So he found another way to get rid of him. And that was a beautiful thing, man. So I really need y'all to get y'all head out your asses, man. Get your head out your asses and understand that it's white boys out here who with rumbles. There's white dudes out here with rumbles, with hands, and that'll crash your ass. I'm arguing, oh man, Spence would never. Madrimov would have put Spence on bed rest. That's just being real. And let's stop playing games. Now, I will say this: I don't necessarily want to see Bud go up to 168 pounds. I've always felt some type of way about that fight. I don't think it's something that's necessary, especially considering that with the backing of Turkey Al-Sheikh, you can become a 3-time undisputed world champion in about another 2 or 3 fights. There's nothing stopping you from getting a fight with Murtazaliev. Then there's nothing stopping you with maybe look, I don't even think that's stopping you. If we being real, it's all these PBC fighters fighting on these cards anyway. I don't think that would stop you from getting a fight with a Fundora. I think you should really focus and lock in on that. I get you want that Canelo show. I honestly do. I get that, man. But I think you should stay focused. Man, nah, man. You still got good. You got at least another 2 or 3 good fights in you. At least another 2 or 3 good fights in there for you. Man, go for it, bro. Go for it. Go for it. As much as we want to see Virgil Ortiz, I would love to see it, but right now Virgil Ortiz just isn't. I can't remember the name of these brothers panel, man, but I forgot to subscribe to their channel, and I really want to shout them brothers out. But I don't think, and they're the ones who said this. Virgil Ortiz shouldn't be on the, he shouldn't be in the itinerary because he just doesn't hold any hardware in the division, and that's the only reason why you shouldn't really be focused on him. I think, because he's about to fight Bohachuk tomorrow. He's about to fight Bohachuk tomorrow. I think that right there is a fight. That is a dope fight, but it's not. It's necessary, but it's unnecessary now, given the fact that you'll be 37 next month. You dig me? I think you should go, yo, man, lock me in with Murtazaliev, lock me in with Fundora, and ride off into the sunset. Your swan song should be you crashing Jermell Charlo. That should be your swan song right there. That's going to be a massive payday for you because of the backstory. It's a history with y'all. That shit that you did at the Spence fight last year to that nigga, man, we ain't forgot about that. Everybody was talking about that. I still go watch that footage. You a bitch ass nigga though. You a bitch ass nigga though. Cuffing your meat and all that. Like, yo, man, this dude is on demon time. Demon. A full-fledged demon. I loved it, man. So I think that's the route that you should take. I think that's the route that you should take. I don't, I think you don't. I don't think you should be focused on 168 pounds right now. And with Canelo, I don't really want to see this dude fight any more novelty type fights, man. I don't think he should be pulling anybody else up. I was berating him for the Jermell Charlo fight. I didn't think that was a good fight. I knew what was going to happen, and I don't want to see him fight Edgar. Personally, I abhorred Edgar Berlanga so much. I'd rather see you fight. I'd rather see him fight Bud than Edgar Berlanga, and we're gonna talk about Edgar Berlanga as well after work. But I really think you should stay at 154 pounds, and I don't see anybody in your way of stopping you from becoming a 3-time undisputed world champion. Unless Tim Tszyu comes across some hardware or Jermell Charlo comes across some more hardware. You dig me? That's just my 2 cents, man. You look really good in there against Israel Madrimov. You showed us that there's more more dimensions in your game than you just going in there and just blowing through a nigga, man. You showed me IQ in the ring. You showed me you have a gas tank. You're able to maintain that stamina at middleweight, and I absolutely loved it, man. I absolutely loved it. You look real sharp in there. You look sharp. You look strong in there. Your volume was there, your counterpunching was there, your dexterity was there, your ability to get out of the way of the shot and punish him for the miss. All that shit was there. The ring IQ was there. You're still a strong. You're southpaw. I haven't seen you go orthodox in a while. Since what, the Kell Brook fight? I haven't seen you go orthodox, since the Kell Brook fight, if I'm not mistaken. But you really, you put up a hell of a performance, champ. 4 division champion. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm on the blast, your north side. I loved it, man. Go ahead and unify that division, man, and make history officially, man. We got one out of the O. And he looking to be a 3-time undisputed champion, yo. Deuces.